Hello, Cherise here from Potter Palace 509, and I am so excited. I've been looking forward to getting this video done for a few weeks now. I was trying to wait to get all of my seed orders in, and I still have a couple out. I have a Johnny seed order and a second botanical interest seed order out there. They will be here this coming week. So for today, we are going to go through my seeds that I got that are new seeds for 2026 season, or seeds. Some of them aren't new, like some of the radishes, but I had to go and buy those seeds, so they're in the new for the 2026 seed season. I have a nice glass of Kendall Jackson Chardonnay, so if you want to go and get yourself something to drink, go and do that, and then we can get started. Okay, so I do have a couple new seed companies that I bought seeds from this season, so I'm gonna share those with you. They are the Tradewinds Fruits, Johnny's, Eden Brothers, Strictly Medicinal Seeds, and Territorial Seeds. So those were the new seed companies that I have not ever purchased from them that I got this year. 2023 was the last year that I actually actively did my garden. Like started seed, transplanted them, and did all of that stuff. And then the other brand, the Tradewinds Fruits, I got a Self-Heal. This is a medicinal plant that I'm gonna grow. I don't have necessarily like a medicinal area and like a tea area of like where everything is all just intermixed. But this is a medicinal seed that I grew for my medicinal seed garden. A lot of herbal healing, herbal remedies, make teas, things like that. And then this one is the Territorial Seed Company, and this is a Queen Lime Orange Zinnia. And I just picked this up at my local nursery. I like the ones that have like the art on them. Yeah, I'm an artist, so this calls to me. Okay, this brand is the Lake Valley Organics, and I have used their seeds before. So this company is not new to me. I had to go and get new packets this year. And that is one of my favorite carrots is the plum radishes, is the plum purple radish. It's really good. It's not spicy. It's just nice and sweet. And then, of course, the English breakfast radish, also a nice one. It is a tiny bit spicy, not too bad, pretty mild. And then these wonderful golden beets. They're really nice. If you don't like beets because they taste too earthy, the golden ones are a good one to try. They're a little bit sweeter and they don't have much of the compound in the golden ones that like the red ones do that are like the earthy flavor. So these ones might be a good one to try for you. All right, and then this one I've never grown before. Barry Morris Sage. So I'm going to do that one. And then also a Green Arrow pea. I believe this is a shelling pea. Bush variety. I do have the Little Marvel Bush shelling peas are my favorites. I've grown those multiple years and they always do really well. They're super easy to grow, very low maintenance. They're very compact little bush variety. Produces a lot of peas, and there's nothing nicer in the summer than sitting and shelling peas on the porch with some like lemonade or whatever. And I plan on doing that with my little Penelope Pooh, my granddaughter. She will be 7 in May, and that is a perfect job, and she would love to help Jijaw with that. I know it. So that's something we're gonna do. She's gonna have her own little garden area. So all right, and then this next one, I don't have very many of the Renee's Garden seeds, but I do have a couple. Mini Cantaloupe Sugar Cube. I don't have a whole lot of area to grow a lot of like sprawling. I mean, I could grow them vertically. I do have a little greenhouse that like one of those little ones I got off Amazon that you put together and then it has like a little plastic thing. So I'm actually thinking that if I take the shelves out, like a larger potter, that I can have one melon cantaloupe and then one, I have a personal love watermelon by the same Renee's Garden, and put one of each so I can have a cantaloupe and a watermelon, and maybe put like a trellis system and see if maybe I can grow them inside the greenhouse. It's worth a try. You never know unless you try. And then I also got fragrant sweet peas, April in Paris. They are the sweet pea flowers. I'm gonna grow those. I've got some California poppies, the dancing ballerinas. These looked really beautiful. And then I've got some petite violas, the Fairyland. I love violas. My first memories of learning about edible flowers was when I was probably 14 and I got a job, one of my first restaurant jobs, at this little cafe. I grew up in the San Juan Islands in Friday Harbor, and it was this little cafe called the Spring Tree. It had this beautiful tree out front that has, I don't even know what kind of tree, grown over like the walkway. So to get into the cafe, you had to walk under this beautiful, like, magical foliage entryway. Anyway, and they always served edible flowers, and I was a bus person, and they served edible flowers on their plates and with their salads, and that was violas. Every time when I see them, that's just always a memory, and it's a very fond memory. I enjoyed that job. It was fun. Got some spearmint. Gonna grow that. We've got some celosia. Gonna grow some of that. We got some Persian baby green finger cucumbers. Growing some of them. And we've got the dahlia lineup. I have another dahlia in my other seeds that I'm going to grow also, but this is going to be the Blazing Saddles. And this year I'm going to grow them from seed like I did in 2023, and they did beautiful. And at that time I didn't realize that I could dig up the tubers and save them and then replant them the next year. So that's what I'm going to try to do with these this season. We've got the Summer Fireworks. The ones I grew in 2023 were like these really frilly ones. Oh, they're so beautiful. In fact, I actually have a dahlia tattooed on my arm that I grew from seed, and a viola actually, right here. Little viola, and my dahlia the color hasn't been done on them yet, but I grew them from seed. So I had my tattoo artist, tattoo them on my body. And then I'm doing some salvia. I have some other salvias this season, and then I already have enough nasturtiums. In fact, my nasturtium seed collection, I had to narrow it down because I couldn't grow all the varieties I have. I mean, I could do whatever I want, but I also want this to be like fun and not like super stressful and anxiety provoking. It's already getting there when I start to do this. Seeds are viable for many years because I store them properly. I have tomato seeds that just sprouted from a dwarf tomato plant that I've had that was from like 2023. So even if I don't use them this year or this season, I will use them. But these nasturtiums, look at them. I love the frilly. Anything frill, I love the frill. All right, so those are the Renee Gardner seeds. Botanical Interest is my favorite seed company for many different reasons. I love the artwork on them. I love that inside the package there's so much information. All the seed packets and the seed companies that I order from, the Botanical Interest by far has the most information. If you open this package, and then I put the seeds inside the Ziploc, and then she just came up. She came up. She likes to lay. She lays on the back of the couch right there. So she's saying hi. Yes, this is my seeds. Do you see them? There's more in here. It's insane. Anyway, okay. She's going to lay down. Be a good girl. So, yeah, you can open the package and then take the seeds and put them in the Ziploc bag, double-sided sticky tape, stick them on there, and then you can get in there because there's recipes in here. There's like facts about where the seeds come from. It's so much information. The Sugar Daddies, I've grown these. These are a staple in my garden. I grow them every year. I love them. They're one of my favorites. So we've got the Sugar Daddies. We've got some baby green spinach. I'll do some outside, and then I might actually try to do some for like microgreens and see how that is. Then we got the Seychelles pole beans, green pole beans. I got 2 things of microgreens, a mild mix and a jazzy mix. So I like a little kick. Anyway, okay, enough of that. Bush French fillet bean. So we're going to do some bush beans and some pole beans this year. We've got a summer squash, the Black Beauty. I like these. I like to obviously harvest them when they're small. One of my favorite ways, I'm not a big on zucchini, but one of my favorite things to do with them is to take olive oil and garlic in a pan and get that kind of nice and brown, and then remove the garlic. And then you take these and you slice them in little slices like coins, and then you kind of just get them nice and golden on each side. And then you take and you put the garlic with olive oil and those little rounds, and you put it on pizza dough. And then you sprinkle caramelized onions also on there. So you make the caramelized onions, sprinkle caramelized onions on there. And then you put like a yummy like gorgonzola on it with a little mozzarella, and you bake it. And it is the most delicious, yummy pizza. Okay, and then we've got the Goldie Honey Bear Sunflower, because I love these. I've grown them before in my garden. I almost wasn't going to grow this vegetable this year because they take up a lot of space in my garden, and they are such a long producer. Like, it takes so long, and they're finicky. They don't always do super well. Anyway, carrots. So I got the Danvers 126 carrots. These are new. I've never grown them. But we're going to see how these go. I have two other varieties, the Little Finger and the Romeo, that I've tried to grow before, and that Romeo was not successful, but the Little Finger was. I do think that I'm going to grow these in pots and containers this season. That's my plan, to not put them in the bed to take up space for so long. As I've been doing my gardening and getting better year after year, there's so much information that you have to know, and there's a lot of variables and things to keep in mind and all of that stuff. So one of the things I've been trying to focus on this year and get better at is looking at the dates to maturity. Quicker maturing, shorter date maturing periods of time. So this is like a 65 days. Still, that's 2 months. Over two, but I mean, anyway, let's see what's happening. The world we live in, we're so instant that now I'm like, why can't it be like a week carrot? Like grow in a week. Okay. I love Cosmos. They're one of my favorite flowers. So this year I got multiple different kinds, and this is one of them. It's the Seashells blend Cosmos. And those petals, if you see them, they are open. They look like little bells, like bells of Ireland or like something like that. They're little tubes, but are they not the cutest? Oh, I'm so excited, so excited. Okay, and then of course I have numerous varieties of poppies. I have a huge bag. Let me just show you. I'm obsessed. Poppy is my favorite flower, hence my dog's name is Poppy. And I have this huge bag of Black Swan poppy seeds that I saved from when I grew Black Swan poppies. I have another huge bag of poppies that's a mixed variety blend of poppies. I don't know where it is right at the moment, but it's like twice as big as that other one. It's ridiculous. So if you want any poppy seeds, just let me know and I'll send them to you. So this one is the poppies, California Poppy Sparkling Apricot. And then this is the Mother of Pearl. And then I also love zinnias. I have a lot of zinnias. And so these are some newer varieties for me this season are the Mazurkia. And then we got the Northern Lights blend. Okay, so now we're into lettuces. I just got some black-seeded Simpson. I've never grown this before. And then I also got the Ice Queen crisp head lettuce. I have never grown this one either. Got the pulled tomato, the pineapple, new for botanical interests. I saw this on Jacques' gardening channel, and I was like, oh, I need that. Some more Sologia. We've got some Genovese basil, which I already have. I bought a basil plant at the store the other day for $2.98 at Walmart. And it had over 30 basil plants in this one plant in soil that you can get over in like the vegetable aisle for like your herbs. I got mint and basil. The mint only had 3 different separate plants. Anyway, and they're all growing. They're doing fine. Some are, I mean, this one I clipped them back. So, but yeah, they're doing good. This one's doing great. And then the mint. So they're all doing fine and happy. That is a really awesome way to get free. low cost plants too. As long as it's in the soil, in the little pots, the living herbs and stuff, get them, replant them. The plant planter and basil plant at the nursery for, I guarantee you those plants, they'll be over $5-6 at the nursery this season. I'm on this broccolini kick. It's good. And so I got some broccolini. I think this is a new one, I believe, too, for botanical interest this year. And I wanted to get this. I think my granddaughter and I are going to have a lot of fun with this one. It is the butterfly bee flower, the blue tea. So you grow these and then you make tea out of them, and the tea is blue. But the really cool thing, take and squeeze like lemon or lime in that, it will turn it into magenta. That's cool. And then we're going to grow some cresspedia, some drumstick flower. I think these are cool, and they're really cool dried. Also, I'm growing a couple different grasses this year. So, and this is one of them. It's called bunny tails. All right. Hey guys, so my second botanical seed order came yesterday. So for the last few seeds that I got from Botanical Interests are going to be these, the Cosmos, the apricota. They look so pretty. I love Cosmos. And then I got some eucalyptus because I love it. I buy it every year at Trader Joe's and then put it in my shower. So this will not live the winter. Yeah, it's only perennial in zones 9 to 11. I'm in 6B, 7A. Leaning more 7A now. So some of the silver drop eucalyptus. I also got this Costata Romanesco squash because I think it looks really cool. The growing. I don't know even if I like rutabagas, but they look really cool. I love root vegetables. Also, I'm sure I like the rutabagas. So I got some rutabagas. I am going to try this melon. It looks so delicious. It's like a French melon. It's supposed to be super sweet, and they're really fragile. So they're too fragile to ship. That's why we never see these in the grocery store. So 1.5 to 2 pound fruit. Surpassed flavor, one of the sweetest rewards of home gardening. Okay. And then I got another pack of the Sun Gold cherry tomatoes because these are our favorite. These are my granddaughter's favorite. So that is what I ordered, my last order from Botanical Interests. All right, you guys have a great one.